and I had a big hole in my underwear. We was laughing about.
What up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. He is the six-time world heavyweight champion. Let me catch my breath. Two-time WWE Hall of Famer, showing off the rings right there, and the 2006 King of the Ring winner, among many other accomplishments that would take the entirety of this interview to run through. Actually in the midst of A&E's WWE's Most Wanted Treasures, every Sunday with fellow legends Mick Foley and Lita. Booker T, how's it going, my man?
Going good, man. Going real good. Can't complain one bit.
Yes, appreciate you doing this, and I especially with this Most Wanted Treasures series, I feel like it evokes a lot of fun trips down memory lane that we're gonna sprinkle throughout this episode. I'd like to start here, though. Many would say this is one of, if not the hottest periods in WWE's history. I'm curious, as someone who has seen so many promotions come and go, been in the thick of it on the main event scene, behind the scenes broadcasting, what do you think? What would you attribute to the success of where the WWE is at currently? Like, what's happened behind the scenes in the hierarchy or in the philosophy of the company that has sort of gotten us to this place right now?
I just think I think the business, just say for instance, the Attitude Era. Even going back before the Attitude Era, I mean, business was always hot. WCW back in the day, we were, pulling, big numbers. But with time, things evolve, evolution, I think. And I think, just like say, for instance, back when, Vince Sr. was running the company, it was ran a certain way. Then it changed, when Junior came in because he saw things from a younger perspective. And then Junior got older, and now Triple H is in there, and he sees it from a younger perspective. I think that's all it is. I just think it's evolution, as far as the business goes. And now with Hunter in there, he sees the business more like the young people see it, or just say, for instance, he may be able to understand what young people like a little bit more these days. Pop culture has a whole lot to do with it. So I just think it's just the evolving of WWE.
I know for a long time fans would always sort of compare eras to the Attitude Era, and I'm kind of enjoying the braggadocious nature of some of the current crop of talent like Cody and Damian, who are willing to say, we love the Attitude Era, but this is the best era in WWE history. This is the most successful era. I'm curious, as someone who has got to experience both, how would you compare? Do you think that where we're at right now is superseding what people were doing in the Attitude Era, both in terms of global viewership and the quality of the material?
As the Attitude Era is something that we're always going to talk about. It's always going to be something that was a part of, your life, my life, in some way, shape, or form. But I do understand what guys like Cody is talking about as far as this era now. This is their era. I mean, is it better than the Attitude Era? Well, to them, they should want to try to make it better than the Attitude Era, because the thing is, just think about rivalries. Just think about treasures. We can't talk about the Attitude Era forever. We're gonna have to move past this sooner or later. We're gonna have to start talking about this next generation, the Roman Reigns, the Cody Rhodes of the world, and their legacy and their Attitude Era that they created. So I understand it. I get it. And if I was in Cody Rhodes' shoes, Drew McIntyre, any of these young guys, I would feel the exact same way.
I like it. Speaking of Cody, he will make his first defense of that undisputed WWE Universal title against AJ Styles. who it's just sort of remarkable to see the quality of work that AJ is putting in over such a long career. You got to share the ring with him in 2009. Sacrifice comes to mind first and foremost in TNA. What were your first impressions of wrestling AJ Styles at that time?
Oh man, great time working with AJ Styles. Great times. You know, trying to help AJ Styles in a few different ways. The guy's he's so talented. I can't tell him anything about his wrestling, but for me, I was there for AJ in TNA. I wanted to see the growth of AJ Styles. I was actually got a chance to see AJ Styles like I was a little bitty kid, at the end of the WCW run. You know what I mean? So I saw that kid grinding, for so long, and then to see him now to see the man that he has grown into. I remember him being in TNA, and he was still such a diamond in the rough. He could go out there and wrestle. He could do anything. But to watch him now and see how well rounded AJ Styles is, I'm talking about from A to Z. He's a totally different cat. He knows exactly how good he is. He always known that, but now when he goes out in the ring and performs, he performs every single time at that next level. And get a big win over LA Knight was huge. And one thing I talk about, winning by any means necessary. That's AJ Styles now. That's not the AJ Styles of the past. AJ Styles now, he's going to go out there and do what he has to do to win, because it's about leaving that legacy that he's going to leave, and that legacy is going to be huge at the end of the day.
The other half of that main event is our champ. You did wrestle him for the Intercontinental title in 2011 at TLC. What's it been like for you having shared that ring with him, and of course being so close with his brother Dustin Rhodes, and to see him have that crowning moment at WrestleMania 40?
Yeah, man. I was so pleased to work with Cody Rhodes. That was my swan song. That was the match that I wanted to leave in people's minds the way I left the business, putting Cody Rhodes over, me looking up at the lights. Uh, man, it's awesome to see Cody where he is now. But Cody, he carved his own path to where he is right now. Cody could have easily, walked away with his tail between his legs and said, screw all of this. But Cody said, I'm going to get out here and grind. This is a kid that was born into this business. This is a kid who was pretty much born into the WWE. He didn't have to go out there on the indie scene and grind and do all of that, but he did. And for me personally, I respect him so much for it, because I got a chance to see Cody. I was in California, and Cody was at an independent show I was at, and every guy at the independent show, they all look like bumps. They all look like a bunch of bumps. And Cody walks in, he's got a nice three-piece suit on, his hair is done. I go, this guy's a star. He's taking the right approach. He's not just looking at this as a game. This is a business. This is a job. And he is creating something. And what he did out there propelled him to do the thing in AEW, to propel him to walk away from that, to come back to WWE and finish his story. Can't have nothing but respect for a guy like that.
You mentioned his run with AEW, and I ask you this because I feel like it's very interesting that you have had such you have succeeded in promotions at sort of every scale of pro wrestling, whether that's being world heavyweight champion in WWE, being there for the final days of WCW, helping a new crop of talent like TNA. What role do you think AEW could and should play in a healthy ecosystem for pro wrestling? Because I know there's a lot of like tribalism of, oh, this program's great, oh, that program's great. But what you'll hear from the superstars is a lot is it's just so nice that there are options for the talent. What role do you think AEW plays in just sort of the wider wrestling sphere?
Revenue is everything. Being able to create revenue, being able to take care of your family, that's huge. That's huge. I mean, I've had guys that have left my wrestling school, and they're in AEW right now. The bounty hunter Brian Keith, and he may not be the guy, at WWE, but he may be the guy for AEW. He may be just say, for instance, Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill was there, and then just having that presence on television propelled her to come to WWE, and her star might burn a lot brighter, but it started there. And I just think it's necessary for people, that's trying to get into this business. WWE may not be that first stop. For me, WWE wasn't the first stop.
Mm-hmm.
WCW was the first stop. But that catapulted me to hone my craft, to be able to work on television, to know what television work is all about, and be prepared to move to that next level, because preparation is the only luck you're ever going to have. And a lot of guys over there can be preparing themselves for what's next, or just preparing themselves to create a legacy that they can, piggyback off to what they're going to do next. Because this ride, guys, it doesn't last forever. It goes quickly. It's fluid. So you got to be prepared for what's next. And I think AEW is, definitely a place that could, help this business without the tribalism. I really think it could be a huge source for the young guys trying to get in this business, and young women trying to get in this business.
Walk me through your favorite Goldust segment that the two of you did.
Oh man, Booker T and Goldust at the movies, I think, with me having, you know, the big sword, that big laser thing from the,
Lightsaber?
start your lightsaber. That was funny. But me and Goldust at 7-Eleven was good when he wanted me to take a bite of, his hot dog, and and they were all out of Booker T cups. But nah, man, I had so much fun with Goldie. The scene where I was in the bed with the girl, the next thing you know, he's in there. But that's what wrestling is. Never in a million years, one would think that that odd couple could work. But for me and Goldie, it was a night off every week, and we loved our job. We loved coming to work. At some points, we would actually be questioning ourselves that, man, they really do pay us to do this. That's how much fun we was having for that whole Booker T and Goldust ride. It was
Are
awesome.
there any proposed segments or skits between the two of you that never saw the light of day? Maybe got
Oh,
cut last minute for time? Is there one that
you
sticks out to you?
I'm sure, I can't say which one stuck out in my mind, but I'm sure there were a lot of scenes with Goldie and I got on a regular basis. I think the one scene when I was with the girl, I got up and left the scene. I had a big hole in my underwear. We was laughing about it. Like, you got all this money, you got a hole in your underwear. So that kind of stuff. It's always been fun for me. It's always been entertainment, but it's always been a job at the same time, and to do that job and to do that job to the best of your ability every time.
Do the words "I still remember" elicit anything to you?
Say again.
I
I still
still
remember.
remember.
It sounds familiar. I can't. I
Okay,
can't. I
so
can't.
let me fill you in on some lore that people have been waiting over 20 years to find out. In
Okay.
2003, you were supposed to you were preparing for a match with Heidenreich, and you got a
Okay.
cryptic note that said "I still remember."
Yeah,
It
I
was
remember that.
never brought up again. What was the story? Where was this leading? Do you remember?
You know what? I remember that, but I don't even remember where the story was going. I'm serious. I'm serious. You know why? Because Heidenreich, that was a time. When Heidenreich was there. I mean, Heidenreich was one of the most offbeat guys you're ever gonna, be around. This guy, you might find him in a closet, hiding, all day, that type of stuff. He was high strung, at all times. He might go off on you. So I probably was thinking about that part, or I was thinking about how I could get out of working with Heidenreich.
The theories are it was gonna like lead to a bunch of cryptic stuff and Goldust's return. I don't know if that's true at all. We got to wrap up here, but I'd be
Oh
remiss
man.
if we didn't tie in WWE's Most Wanted Treasures more. So I want to start with this. What is your most treasured piece of memorabilia in your personal collection?
Um, the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, that's a pinnacle that every young wrestler dream of, and want to see themselves as one time in this business. And I got the pleasure, the honor of being the heavyweight champion 6 times and represent the company. So that would be it.
Is there something you found on this journey with Mick Foley and Lita that like really caught you off guard in a pleasant way?
Oh, I wouldn't say caught me off guard, but in a pleasant way, it took me back
Hmm.
to my childhood in Sam Houston Coliseum, and that was the Junkyard Dogs dog collar. Watching Junkyard Dog in Houston, Louisiana. I grew up in Houston. I was born in Louisiana, and he was like the icon. He was like the most famous star in the Texas, Louisiana region. And those white boots and those white trunks with that dog collar on, and JYD going out there and representing for the brothers, man. That right there, it really gave me a chill, a feeling, a tear, because JYD is not here to actually still be able to just hold it for himself. Yeah.
Last one for you. What's the weirdest thing a fan has ever asked you to sign?
Oh man, the weirdest thing, probably, how females are.
I
I was
I
just,
don't think
I
any
was,
of them have ever asked me to sign anything, Booker.
I was just leave it at that. Okay.
Booker, I want to leave you with the last word, so I'll do my part very quick, guys. Thanks so much for checking out the video. Please subscribe, tap the bell, thumbs up. Let us know in the comments section what's one piece of WWE memorabilia you would kill to have in your collection. We'd love to hear from you. Booker, if there's anything you want to tell the people, I'd like to leave the floor with you.
No, man, I just want to thank everybody, man, for representing, me and all these years being a part of this ride. It's been so awesome, and I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds cliche, but I would not be the man who I am in this business without the fans representing, raising the roof since day one. So I appreciate and I love you guys.